Canadian capital, this is the GBN television news. GBN, covering you from the Grenadine Island chain to Brooklyn, New York, via the World Wide Web on www.gbn.gd.
The news headlines is brought to you compliments GUT Credit Union.
Imagine having the home of your dreams. Imagine investing in that piece of property you can call your own. Imagine finally doing that home improvement project you've always been thinking about. It's time to stop imagining and start doing. Let the GUT Credit Union help you take the first step with fantastic rates, affordable repayments, and reduced legal fees. Make the move. Get better terms on your mortgage. Use your home equity to make those dreams a reality. Act now. There's really no place like home. GUT Credit Union. It's where you belong.
Good evening and welcome to the GBN television news for Thursday, March 3rd, 2022. In the headlines, GTAU brings a halt to some operations at the Ports Authority, but management says they are intervening on an FIU investigation. One man detained after altercation leads to an accident and house fire that took the lives of a mother and son in St. Patrick. Family members of Derek John, who was killed in 2011, frustrated over delays in the court proceedings. For what's to come in sports and our probe around the globe, let's go over to Zia Fedrick.
Thank you, Blossom, and good evening, viewers and listeners. Here's what's coming up a little later in the newscast. Regionally, St. Vincent's Prime Minister finally reveals contents of private letter he wrote to Russian President Vladimir Putin. Internationally, sanctions and a shortage fears rattle the oil market. And coming up in sports, GFA focused on improving coaching in the Premier League. Join me, Zia Fedrick, for the details a little later in the newscast. Now back to you, Blossom.
Thank you, Zia. This is GBN Primetime Edition of News. It's next.
The first segment of the news comes to you compliments Soft Weave Bathroom Tissue.
Have you heard about the new Soft Weave bathroom tissue with total hygiene? As hygiene and safety have taken center stage, our bathroom tissue is now manufactured with 3 different technologies to offer the best protection for you and your family. UVC light technology for a safe and effective disinfection process, eliminating 99.9% of microorganisms. Also, production at high temperatures, killing all types of germs and bacteria. And it's pH controlled with delicate fibers to prevent irritation for even sensitive skin. Soft Weave Total Hygiene Bathroom Tissue, available in supermarkets and shops island-wide. Visit Soft Weave Caribbean Facebook or Instagram pages for more information.
Thanks for joining us with the news in detail. I am Blossom Alexis-Welsh. The question of police protocols in conducting investigations has apparently brought some operations at the St. George's Port to a halt on Thursday. The Grenada Ports Authority is contending that the Grenada Technical and Allied Workers Union took an illegal action on Thursday. However, the union is refuting those allegations. Gerard Joseph has tonight's top story.
The Grenada Ports Authority has alleged that the Grenada Technical and Allied Workers Union has shut down some elements of the St. George's Port. The situation is linked to an ongoing investigation by the Financial Intelligence Unit on irregularities in internal audits reported by the Grenada Ports Authority. General Manager of GPA, Franklin Redhead, contends that TAU is insisting that the union be consulted before any criminal investigation occurs or is reported.
GPA disagrees with this very strongly. If we have discovered any irregularity, we have an obligation, we have a fiduciary obligation to pass that on to the appropriate national body for investigation, which we have done. As far as we know, FIU is now in the process of interviewing persons pursuant to that investigation. I think the union took umbrage to that the FIU would have come to the port and asked a particular person to accompany them for an interview.
However, President General of TAU, Andre Lewis, is refuting any claims that the union is seeking to disrupt a police investigation. Senator Lewis notes that an impromptu meeting with port workers was held based on ongoing negotiations for procedures to guide questioning by police, with a meeting previously scheduled for Monday to discuss same.
Matter of fact, when we had the industrial action in December, this was a matter that we had brought to the attention of the Ministry of Labour, and there was a commitment from the port to continue discussions with the union. Because as far as we are concerned, is that what happened today ought not to have happened.
The union leader says they are concerned about the reputation of workers being tarnished due to the lack of protocols for such situations.
2 cruise ships are expected tomorrow, so they will be handled. The launch they will be handled. But we need to have this engagement to address the issue of procedure and protocol as a matter of urgency. And the mandate from the workers, the mandate of the workers is that there will be no other engagement unless this meeting has been held.
The general manager shares a different view, saying they have engaged the Labour Ministry for a resolution and expects an intervention from the Labour Minister or the Commissioner of Police. Port Manager Ian Evans says individuals and businesses are those said to be negatively affected.
There is a delay in that you're unable to deliver cargo to consignees. The union has, however, agreed that for incoming vessels right now, those are being worked. So it has not affected the incoming cargo, but it has affected delivery to consignees.
I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
This next story, a mother and her son are dead and one man is in police custody as the community of Madea St. Patrick reels from a night of tragedy. Rena Perry Thomas was in St. Patrick early this morning and filed this report.
Lives lost, one narrowly escaped and one man in police custody, all from the same tragic incident. The remains of a 94-year-old mother, Jermaine Duncan, and her 60-year-old son, Nicholas Duncan, were pulled from their home after fire engulfed the house on Wednesday night, just around 6 p.m. According to police reports, the fire may have started from a vehicle explosion that eventually caused the 2-story wooden and concrete house and a motor vehicle to be destroyed by the blaze. Members of the fire department of the Royal Grenada Police Force quickly responded to the incident but were unable to save the duo. ASP Desmond Richards, officer in charge of the Community Relations Department of the RGPF, explains.
Sometime after 6 p.m. yesterday evening, that is on Tuesday, the 2nd March 2022, the police received information of a house fire in Madea. They responded along with the fire department from Victoria, Guelph, Grenville, Sates, and upon arrival, they met the house on a 2-story concrete and wooden structure building house on fire. They extinguished the fire and subsequently discovered that there were 2 partially burned bodies in the house.
Police have also confirmed that one man is in custody, helping officers with the investigation in connection with an incident that occurred prior to the fire, which may have set the deadly incident in motion. Reports indicated that before the fire, the deceased man was stabbed during an altercation with another man in the area just a few feet from his home. In an attempt to get help, it is reported that the victim drove his vehicle to his home but hit a gas tank situated in an outside garage. Reports are that the tank exploded and burst into flames, catching the house on fire. Witnesses say after hearing the loud crash, the woman's caregiver ran outside to see what happened, but then the vehicle and house caught on fire before the caregiver could go back inside to rescue the bedridden woman.
The investigation is new, and there's a lot of pieces we have to still put together. But I rest assured that the police has launched an investigation, and we are doing everything possible to uncover and the circumstances surrounding that tragic incident. We also have a young man in custody who is assisting the police with investigation.
Residents of Madea St. Patrick's are in tears after trying to come to terms with the loss of the mother and son. This neighbor, who broke down in tears, said the deceased elderly woman was a loving person who will be missed.
I never know her to be a bad person. I never hear anybody say she's a bad person. I don't know what happened last night. And then I was in the back there and I heard that big explosion, boom. I thought it was 2 vehicles that go down in the river. But then I start seeing fire. When I come, the house was halfway burned already. There's a tragic way for she to go. I feel sorry.
The Commissioner of Police, along with the rank and file of the RGPF, expressed deep sympathy to the family and relatives of the deceased. For GBN News, I am Rena Pear-Thomas reporting.
Family members of Derek John, who was killed in 2011, are calling for swifter justice. They believe 1 year is more than enough time for a case of this nature to get off the ground. They are saying too much adjournments. More in this Chrislina John report.
Would like to see is justice, and that's the bottom line, is justice.
It's approximately 1 year since the arrest and charge of Andre John for the 2021 death of 51-year-old Derek John of Beaulieu, St. George. And now siblings of the deceased are outraged that court proceedings have yet to start. The deceased was found lying on the side of the road in Boca, St. George, with what appeared to be a piercing to the chest that exited on his back. In an exclusive interview with GBN, sister of the deceased, Eve, as she prefers to be called, is questioning the Grenada justice system. Why is the case taking so long? For security reasons, she asked GBN to conceal her identity.
Asking the family and I, let the trial begin for Andre John. We've had enough. After they arrested Andre John in February 2021, they were supposed to call the case on the following dates: July 16, 2021, November of 2021, twice in February, as in last month, 2022, and the 1st of March this year.
Andre John was slapped with a charge of manslaughter by negligence on February 12, 2021, and made his first court appearance on Monday, February 15th at the St. George's No. 1 Magistrates Court. He was placed on $3,000 bail with 2 sureties. The relative of the deceased is also concerned about her family's safety.
If he had stolen something, wouldn't he have been put in jail since? But the thing is, this is a murder case, and he's free to roam until what? Until he finds his next victim, and then the court will have to say something? It doesn't make any sense.
Eve says it's hard for her family to be reliving this nightmare time and time again.
What I would like to see is justice, and that's the bottom line, is justice. It doesn't matter if he was 19 years old. It doesn't matter if he killed Derek John by accident or not by accident. A crime was committed. To relive the nightmare again once we saw the news report last year, we're still reliving the horror till today, each time that the case is being put off and postponed.
The cold case unit of the Royal Grenada Police Force has been credited for the breakthrough in this case. Chrislina John, GBN News.
A major highlight of the 33rd Intersessional Meeting of CARICOM Heads of Government in Belize was a presentation on a comprehensive plan for the development of the agri-food sector, addressing vaccine hesitancy and increasing vaccination rates via a regional campaign to combat disinformation was another important decision coming from the regional meeting. Here's Gerard Joseph with the details.
The revival of the CARICOM Economic Recovery and Transformation Working Committee, to be led by Barbados's Prime Minister Mia Mottley to engage the recovery process via the Caribbean Single Market and Economy is one of the significant decisions coming from the heads of government meeting in Belize. CARICOM Chair and Prime Minister of Belize, John Businio, says the committee will serve as a clearinghouse for the many recommendations being tabled and guide the economic recovery and transformation in the Caribbean community.
Representatives of the Caribbean Development Bank, the CARICOM Development Fund, and the CARICOM Commission on the Economy have now been included in the committee. We agreed that there was need to focus on greater production integration to help advance the CSME, and it was decided that the President of Suriname would be the lead head of government for industrial policy in the CARICOM Quasi-Cabinet of Heads of Government.
He says CARICOM Heads of Government had a discussion with the Prime Minister of Haiti to aid decisions on how the Caribbean community can assist in resolving the difficulties faced. The CARICOM Chair also notes a major focus was the ongoing situation in Ukraine.
Pain and suffering that is being inflicted on the people of Ukraine is unwarranted and a flagrant violation of international law. We continue to urge Russia to cease its attack on the country.
Prime Minister Businio says they welcomed the report from Grenada's Prime Minister Dr. Kate Mitchell on the excellent work on ICT.
Digitalization is the center of our future. Climate change continues to be a major issue for us, which we have agreed to put at the center of our work. This is vital. We have issued the Hamburg's Key Declaration clearly outlining our priorities and agreed to have a meeting of heads to consider this matter in depth.
A unified position to upcoming international summits was adopted as the CARICOM Heads of Government meeting ended on Wednesday. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
This is GBN Primetime Edition of News. Coming up, CARICOM Heads of Government says the agri-food sector within CARICOM is a $6 billion market mostly untouched. Stay with us. That story and more are next.
The Rotary Clubs in Grenada introduce the Good Neighbor Initiative, a program designed to assist individuals and families who require short-term assistance with electricity bill payment and the cost associated with rewiring of homes due to fires and natural disasters. If you or someone you know is in need of help, please visit our website at www.goodneighborinitiative.org. The Good Neighbor Initiative, helping individuals and families with short-term electricity bill payments and electrical wiring. One neighbor at a time.
No frills, just great prices, only at Quartz. We don't just talk about it, we've got it. Shop with confidence and save big. Up to 50% off appliances, furniture, electronics, and so much more. Plus, pay with ready finance and get 1 month free. Only at Quartz, bringing value home. Special conditions apply.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3.
Thinking about your new home? Think easy. Think a Republic Bank Home Easy Loan. Think affordable. Think convenience. Think Republic.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3. Republic makes home easy.
Wow, that was such a breeze.
Own your home with ease.
So whether laying that first brick or purchasing an existing home, we've got you covered. Republic Bank will get you those keys hassle-free in no time.
Home is easy as 1, 2, 3.
Drop by any one of our 8 locations today. Getting your new home is easy with Republic Bank.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
What does it take to be an amazing woman? Lots of me time. Amazing women are classy, fancy, and a little sassy. It's the drink for me. Cheers! Sometimes you've got to show them who's boss. Alpha male? Nah, alpha females are more amazing. Cheers to securing the bag. We make time for ourselves, for work, friends, and we certainly make time for passion. We're simply amazing. Amazing cream liqueur. for the amazing woman in you.
Ridgeway Residences, a modern, exclusive residential community offered by Ariza. Purchase one of our completely built houses or let us build for you by simply choosing your lot, choosing your home design from our selection, and let us do the rest. Owning a home does not have to be a frustrating process. For more information, contact Ariza Credit Union on 415-0994 or send us an email on info@ridgewayresidences.gd. Ridgeway Residences, hassle-free home ownership.
GBN leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank.
My grandson feel he was a big man before he reached secondary school. Telling me about new gadgets to make life easy. But he busting up the food his granny cook with her 2 hands. And Kern's a good boy. I know. I raised him. I know he doesn't like seeing me work too hard. He worries. Before I had my first heart attack, he was excited to live near his university campus. So I felt guilty when he decided to live at home to take care of me. And get into class and back, he would travel, he said. But I got him a little car anyway, much safer. He graduated, recently got married, and he's doing well for himself with all his tech. He still thinks he knows more than me. But to be honest, I don't know how I would have managed without him.
Your life is your story. Let's help you write it on your terms. Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Welcome back to the news. Elaborating on the comprehensive plan for the development of the agri-food sector, the heads of government note that there is a $6 billion market within CARICOM which has mostly been left untouched. The first target of 25% by 2025 is one of the critical decisions coming from the heads of government meeting, which concluded yesterday.
Grenada's massive food import bill may be significantly reduced if efforts by CARICOM come to fruition. Building upon the regional agriculture ministers meeting in Guyana in 2018, where food and water were recognized as the new oil, CARICOM is now forging ahead to reduce the volume of imports. Barbados Prime Minister Mia Mottley says 25 by 2025 involves increasing opportunities for the agri-food sector and reducing the cost of food, as well as promoting an Eat Local campaign.
Therefore, I'm more than happy this evening that President Ali, who has responsibility in the Quasi-Cabinet for Agriculture and Food Security, was able to move with dispatch, even in the midst of a pandemic over the course of the last year, to bring together the Ministers of Agriculture, to work with financiers, to meet with companies dealing with possibilities for crop insurance, to deal with the barriers that you spoke about, the sanitary and phytosanitary barriers we now have to address fully.
Prime Minister of Belize John Briceño notes that the focus is to grow more products that are advantageous to CARICOM countries.
For instance, we import poultry. There's no need for us to be importing poultry, or some of the grains, like corn and beans, the different meats. All of that can be grown here in the Caribbean.
The CARICOM chair says an industrialization policy to add value to raw produce is also a major factor to ensure more of the $6 billion agri-food market is kept in the region. The barriers to regional trade have been a historic deterrent to the regional integration process and the free movement of goods and services. However, the Caribbean leader says a renewed commitment to CSME was made by the heads of government.
Well, that's something that has to start with us as heads. And today, all heads made a commitment once again to be able to try to move that integration even more, or certainly faster, because we are realizing that by doing that, our people benefit, and we also have to appeal to the private sector in our individual countries.
The heads of government meeting concluded in Belize on Wednesday. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
13 companies have expressed interest in repairing the land slippage area in Molyneux, St. George. Beverly Telesford visited the site on Thursday and filed this report.
The Molyneux Main Road has been closed to vehicular traffic since Monday, 16th December 2019. Over 2 years later, the area has seen some drastic changes. Entrepreneurs and homeowners in the area were forced to abandon their shops and homes in the interest of their own safety. This house was on the same level with the main road. Though the structure is strong, it was no match for the slippage below. So far, over 10 companies have come forward to bid for the project to repair the road. This was detailed in Tuesday's post-cabinet briefing by Minister for Infrastructure Development, Senator Nolan Cox.
That project went out for tender approximately 6 weeks ago, and tenders are to be returned on Monday the 7th. We have 13 companies expressing interest in repairing that landslip area. We are very excited about having that project completed so we can get traffic moving back within that area. All the designs are completed, all the geotechnical studies, and so we're now waiting for those tenders to come in on Monday, in which they will be evaluated, and then a preferred contractor will be selected thereafter.
The Mount Kumar Road reconstruction project was started in response to the situation in Molyneux and will provide an alternative and shorter route for users of the Western Main Road corridor to get to and from St. George. The project, according to Minister Cox, is close to completion.
And the project is moving smoothly. They do have some minor interruptions with rainfall. However, they are moving on. Significant excavation work has been made, almost completed. For persons who traversing along the roadway in Bolio, they would see the new entrance is already been excavated. Some concrete works would have started on the drains, and on the slipper drains, precast slipper drains that would have started. And so it's on stream, and it is scheduled to complete by May of this year, May 2022.
An $11.2 million contract was awarded for the Mount Kumar project, and $6 million has been provided for the Molyneux project. Reporting from Molyneux in St. George, I am Beverly Telesford for GBN News.
Thanks, Beverly. On to this story. The Grenada Tourism Authority launched its new volunteerism program for visitors seeking to engage with the local community and culture while making a tangible impact. As countries worldwide recover from the COVID-19 pandemic, trends indicate that travelers are looking for experiences that allow them to connect deeper to a destination, support sustainability, and positively impact the places they visit. To meet this demand, the Grenada Tourism Authority said it will be targeting various audiences, giving them the opportunity to volunteer in Grenada in areas such as health, agriculture, environment, and education. CEO of the GTA is Petra Roach.
I think that it's a fair thing to say that volunteerism is one of the buzzwords that we hear everywhere at the minute. It's got tremendous potential for growth as persons now are keen on giving back to developing communities, and this niche of tourism also helps to diversify the type of visitor that we're getting to the destination. We also want to be really shouting about our community tourism projects, and we want to get visitors and locals immersed in Grenadian culture through these first-hand experiences.
Ms. Roach highlights some of the benefits that will come from this new initiative.
Also, we have the opportunity to engage smaller stakeholders beyond the traditional sectors so that the benefits of tourism are not only seen for the tourism sector, but certainly that it expands into areas like agriculture, education, health, social initiatives, and of course, very importantly, the environment. So the results mean that we build meaningful relationships, we increase revenue, we diversify the Grenada product, whilst at the same time ensuring that we promote sustainability and travel with a purpose.
Voluntourism opportunities are available year-round and can be accessed on GTA's official website. And now let's turn our attention to what has been creating a buzz on social media. Rena Pear-Thomas has been looking around the platforms.
We present the news. You analyze the various topics and distill the issues as they unfold. Your distillation points matter as we're about to highlight them in our Social Buzz Report.
GBN brought to you the story of former workers at the Soubise Fishermen Cooperative Society in St. Andrews calling for justice after making a request for a formal investigation to be done into their termination. They claim to be wrongly accused of stealing more than $30,000 from the society. GBN brought this story, and you, our online audience, took to the comment section to air your views. Empress Durham said, "That's not nice. The real big culprit sitting there thinking they get away. But remember, there is a man above. Too often, innocent people have to take the blame for things." Pusher Jessime comment, "This is not the first time money was stolen from this corporation, and you have to involve the police to get the right person or persons involved. You cannot demand repayment because you have no proof of who took the money. According to this lady, explanation, do the right thing and don't judge people." Yolanda George wrote, "Why do the bigger heads always feel they could take advantage of lower class workers? Young lady, God not sleeping. He will see you through." Jeremy Williams said, "If they turn in everything to management at the end of the shift, how could they be blamed? Why didn't someone interview them before sending the letter and getting rid of them?" And finally, Susan still wrote, "Why haven't the manager complained of any discrepancies with the cash, checks, receipts, or leisure book prior to the audit? Who's the accountant? Plus, it's the manager's job to ensure checks and balance. Something really fishy. Too much fishiness." I'm glad she publicly spoke about this issue. That's a wrap for tonight's Buzz. Continue to share your thoughts and concerns with us on our social media platforms.
And still ahead, Cuban ambassador joins agriculture minister in meeting farmers in Ruke, St. David. That story and more next.
At Southern Electrical, you get the best value, quality products, and expert advice. We are the #1 supplier of residential, commercial, and industrial electrical products in Grenada. View our latest arrivals of wall lights for interior and exterior, beautiful chandeliers, pendants, solar motion lights, kitchen appliances such as crispy air fryer ovens, crepe makers, countertop grills, and more. Visit Southern Electrical at Dusty Highway, Grand Island, St. George. We also ship to Carriacou and Petit Martinique. Call our telephone number 444-3042, WhatsApp 405-4993, or browse our website www.segrenada.com.
We support you at every stage of your life.
For business,
for your education,
for your financial freedom,
for that new ride.
Upgrade your life with the Communal. Contact us today.
The Nawasa app brings the power of Nawasa's customer service experience to you. Instant, conversational, and smart. Easy access anywhere. Get bill balance, transaction history for up to 6 months, report a fault, link to websites, view payment centers, contact information, push notifications, and multi-tenant accounts, all in a secure login platform. Like a self-service concierge app, mobile.nawasa.gd gets you the support you need much faster. Available on both Android and iOS platforms. Mobile.nawasa.gd, your customer support companion. Nawasa, committed to meeting customers' needs.
The next chapter in West Indies' biggest rivalry continues. West Indies flies against England for the Apex Test Series in 3 test matches. Tickets start as low as $20 and local residents enjoy an additional 50% discount with online purchase. Must be fully vaccinated to attend all matches and COVID-19 protocols will be in effect. Secure your seats to the action. Get your tickets in advance at windiescricket.com/tickets. Terms and conditions apply.
This is GBN. We've got the means, the power, and the medium. This segment is brought to you by Flow.
Welcome back. Ambassador to Grenada recently joined Minister for Agriculture Peter David on his engagement with farmers in St. David. And the farmers are anticipating positives from that meeting. Let's get more in this report from Chrislina John.
A meeting with farmers in the village of Rukin in St. David has begun the process of improved bilateral relations between the governments of Grenada and Cuba. Minister for Agriculture Peter David, together with Cuban Ambassador to Grenada, Luis Ernesto Rodriguez, and extension officers attached to the Southern Agricultural District, dialogued with farmers there. The visit was a continuation of the Agriculture Minister's scheduled meet and greet with farmers across the country.
We are trying in the Ministry of Agriculture to resuscitate the program where we can assist with the clearing of the road. Fortunately for us, we're close to there, and we're going to be working on getting the road in the area sorted out. If they have the road, the farmers indicate they hardly have any other problem after that. We're also very pleased this morning to have the Cuban ambassador with us. You know, Cuba and Grenada share a very special relationship. And we are trying to enhance that relationship in the area of agriculture. In fact, we are in the process of discussing a memorandum of understanding between Grenada and Cuba. I have a planned visit coming up to Cuba sometime in the next couple of months. So it is something we're trying to develop. So we thought this morning we'll bring the Cuban ambassador so he can see for himself.
Ambassador Rodriguez explains that his visit to the farm is important, as this will allow for a better understanding of how both countries can collaborate to develop agriculture.
That's why I talked to Minister Peter the opportunity to take an advantage of the development of Cuba in this sector to work together and try to first sign a memorandum between both countries.
The area visited serves approximately 35 farmers whose main concerns surround proper road access and irrigation. Farmers Damian Williams and Jonas Williams says they're a bit more empowered now that the minister has visited their farms.
Well, to me it's a good vibe, because you get to see, everyone will get to see what we're doing and who is working and and we get to understand, share different vibes, what we need, and so it's a good vibe to understand that the minister come and see me.
Minister it's motivate me, it's encourage me, because we know the government there in us, and that's very important, to go there and do more, because we know we have the support, and that's the key.
Chrislina John, GBN News.
And now let's take a peek through the GBN ISAW lens.
A good eye captures all. GBN ISAW is brought to you by ClearVision.
Life is beautiful if only you can see it. ClearVision Eye Center helps you do just that. We provide expert service, classy eyewear, and cutting-edge technology, all with a quality customer experience. See better, feel better, and look better. Meet us today at clearvisiongrenada.com or call 444-0055, WhatsApp 409-0055, or follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. ClearVision Eye Center. Let's see life and the world with a clear vision.
Our citizen journalist tonight submitted photographs of Shakespeare Mass on the Sister Isle on Carnival Tuesday. This Mass is indigenous to the people of Carriacou. It features men dressed in bright colors who engage in a battle of words using Shakespeare plays, hoping not to fumble on their lines, otherwise surrendering to a stroke of their opponent's stick. It is played annually on Tuesday's parade day of Kayak Mass. Send us your photo and video submissions via WhatsApp on 405-3052 or our other social media platforms.
Stay with us. The weather is up next, and then we join Zia Fedrick for sports and our probe around the globe. Here's the public weather forecast for the state of Grenada. Tonight's minimum temperature 24.5 degrees Celsius. Weather will be partly cloudy with a few brief showers. Winds will be east-northeasterly to easterly at 8 to 18 miles per hour. Seas will be moderate to rough, waves 6 to 9 feet in northeasterly to easterly swells. A marine advisory remains in effect, so take note. Tides will be low at 10 o'clock tonight and high at 4 a.m. On Friday, sunrise and sunset is at 6:22 and 6:18 respectively. It will be partly cloudy and windy, with a few brief showers becoming generally fair during the afternoon, becoming partly cloudy overnight with few brief showers. On Saturday, sunrise is at 6:22 and sunset 6:18. It will be partly cloudy, windy and hazy in the morning, with isolated showers becoming generally fair by midday, becoming partly cloudy overnight with a few brief showers. Then on Sunday, sunrise and sunset 6:21 and 6:18 respectively. It will be generally fair, windy and hazy, becoming partly cloudy overnight with a few brief showers. And that's the public weather forecast valid for tonight and the next 3 days. Stay tuned. Zia is next with sports.
When you need your prescription filled or you require non-prescribed medication, supplements, or all your personal needs, visit Gittins Healthcare at locations on Wall Street, Grandans, Victoria Street, Brandon, and Central Deputy Street, Wall. Gittins Healthcare aims to provide an exceptional personalized pharmacy experience. Additionally, children under 5 and adults 55 years and over will enjoy 10% discount on purchases of $20 and over on prescription medication. Stop settling for less. Visit Gittins Healthcare, where your health is our priority.
Let's start the new year on a high, a detox high, because it's detox time again at Nirvana Detox Center and Natural Health Store. Check out our many detox packages starting from $100 or get 15% off on colonic irrigation therapy. Detoxing can help with liver and blood cleansing, weight loss, constipation, acid reflux, kidney stones, heavy metal removal, gas and bloating, and more. Call or WhatsApp us on 231-6642, 418-7115, or 449-7753. Ask about our delivery options. Visit us now. Bruce Street Mall, store number 1208, or Belmont St. George's, close to the Fall Edge area. Our opening hours are Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Nirvana Detox Center and Natural Health Store. Detox your way to health. These specials ends on March 31st or while stocks last.
groceries? Why not visit realvalueiga.com and experience our new online shopping platform? Place your order, then go out and enjoy your day to spend more time with friends and family. Delivery available within select locations or in-store pickup available. Sounds simple, right? It is. Stress less, live more with Real Value IGA online store, where good food begins.
It's finally here. The long-awaited historical drama, Julian Fedon, is finally here. One man with a sense of destiny. 14,000 slaves with a dream and a promise.
Tonight we stand our ground. Tonight we stand on the side of history.
Julian Fedon, presented by Heritage Theatre Company in conjunction with the Grenada Broadcasting Network, the Grenada Cooperative Bank, the Grenada National Lotteries Authority. Opening Saturday, 12th February, 7 p.m. at the Trade Center, and continuing. Experience the conflict.
Close down their churches, every one of them.
Feel the passion. The epic drama of a people caught up in a desperate struggle for freedom.
Seems to me like you are trying to get yourself killed.
Julian Fedon, bring out the entire family and enjoy an experience in Grenadian theatre.
Keeping an eye on the weather. This is GBN. We've got you covered.
Good evening once again. I am Zia Fedrick with tonight's sports report. The Grenada Football Association is making moves to enhance the skills of Premier League coaches across the island and started an almost one-week training course on Thursday. Beverly Tellisford has this roundup.
Thursday was the first day of the Grenada Football Association's CONCACAF B and C license coaching program. The B license program targets Grenada's local coach instructors, while the C license program focuses on coaches in the Premier League. The workshop is being facilitated by FIFA and CONCACAF technical consultant Anton Cornell, GFA technical director Jerry Alexis, and coaching instructors Jake Rennie and Roderick Griffith. The technical director explained the importance of the program.
I think it's an amazing program. CONCACAF is actually putting on now the B/C license, B for coach instructors, coach educators. We don't want to use the word instructors anymore, but more coach educators. And C license for our local coaches here in Grenada. We have about 17 participants presently actually doing the C license. And we have the B license for 3 of our coach educators here in Grenada. Mr. Roderick Griffith, who is now head of our coach education department. Jake Rennie and myself, Jerry Alexis, technical director. What CONCACAF is actually trying to gain from that is to educate every AME so that every AME could take ownership to the coach education program. So by myself, Mr. Rennie and Mr. Griffith doing the B license in the near future, we would not need CONCACAF instructors to sort of come to Grenada to actually execute this C license for us.
Alexis says the workshop is aimed at standardizing all coaching and ensuring that Premier League club coaches have at least a C license.
It's about standardization. I mean, the C license at CONCACAF level basically is for youth. Could you imagine that? 17-year-old, 18-year-olds, and we have our Premier League coaches here because we didn't have the sort of certification in the past, license in the past. So we have to start somewhere. Most of the coaches here that are actually doing the C would have the D license. So we are now conducting the C, and then we want to move them on to the B. The B is basically coaching under 20 players, and then see if we can get an A for them in the near future so that they can actually be coaching in the category that they are now coaching.
The workshop consists of theory and practical sessions and is taking place at the GFA headquarters at Queen's Park. Meanwhile, Technical Director of the Grenada Football Association, Jerry Alexis, says the players and coaches should start seeing football as a business rather than just a sport, as he encouraged them to invest in themselves and their education.
So we have to start somewhere. I mean, and CONCACAF is trying to do it through the entire Caribbean also, because I know the other islands would have just done the C/B. And I think if we standardize the coaching, we're going to eventually have better players, because I believe better better coaches is going to produce better players. I think far too long we operate in Grenada whereby, I was a player so I could just jump into coaching. To get any job in Grenada, you need to provide some sort of certification. Why not football? We have to start seeing football for what it is, for the business it is. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry, and basically these coaches could get themselves certified. And I hope in the near future, I don't want them to leave Grenada. We know we'll have to make changes to our leagues and see how we can get them being paid, for the certificates that they are now receiving.
Chelsea's Russian owner Roman Abramovich has put the Premier League club up for sale, saying proceeds from any deal will be donated to war victims in Ukraine. Russia's invasion of the country has complicated the billionaire's ownership of the team. We get more in this report.
Despite booking a spot in the FA Cup quarter-finals, there was a somber look on the faces of Chelsea's players on Wednesday night. That's because behind the scenes, the Blues are facing their most uncertain period in recent history. Before their match, Chelsea owner Russian billionaire Roman Abramovich announced he plans to sell the club. The 55-year-old's ownership has become complicated by Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Some have called for him to face sanctions. Abramovich has already given stewardship and care of Chelsea to club trustees.
Very sad day for us. Roman's taken the club so far, and the club have done so much, under his watch. It is what it is, and as players we have to carry on and be professional.
It's the best part. It's a superb part. They've stopped right there.
Chelsea have become one of the giants of club football since Abramovich took over in 2003. Since then, they've won 5 Premier League titles, 5 FA Cups, and the Champions League twice. They were also recently crowned World Club Champions. Once the club is sold, keeping up these standards won't be easy.
But they will need money spent on them because that money has been put in by Abramovich over the course of 20 years. They're running at a loss every year, and that's been covered by Abramovich. And a new owner will have to be prepared to inject new money into the club.
Potential buyers have already begun to surface. Swiss billionaire Hans-Jörg Wyss says he's been approached to purchase the London team. There's even been interest from the world's biggest MMA star, Conor McGregor. Whoever takes over, they'll need deep pockets, with Abramovich looking for more than $4 billion. Chelsea fans will be hoping the situation can be resolved soon, and the new owner will continue to help the team win trophies. Sohail Malik, Al Jazeera.
That's sports. Regional and international news are next. Tonight's One Caribbean hookup begins in St. Vincent, where Prime Minister Dr. Alf Gonzalez has finally disclosed the contents of his private letter to Russian President Vladimir Putin. The Prime Minister announced publicly last week that he had written a letter to President Putin. However, the contents would not be released until if or when he is ready to do so, which sparked heavy criticisms from members of the public and opposition leader Godwin Friday. During his weekly appearance on NBC Radio this morning, PN Gonzalez read the letter in its entirety, which condemns the special military operation launched by the Russian government in Ukraine.
As a long-standing friend of the Russian Federation, St. Vincent and the Grenadines is deeply disturbed at your government's initiative of a special military operation in the territory of Ukraine, an independent republic. The government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines understands your articulation of the legitimate security considerations of the Russian Federation. However, your government stands on the matters at hand, taken at its highest in your favor, cannot reasonably justify the special military operation upon which Russia has embarked. And as a small island state whose independent existence depends on faithful global adherence to the letter and spirit of the United Nations Charter, St. Vincent and the Grenadines is urging your government to reflect with solemnity and reasonableness on these principles and others and cease the special military operation.
The hospital occupancy rates in the parallel healthcare system in Trinidad and Tobago are the lowest they've been since early April 2021. We get more in this report.
Principal Medical Officer Dr. Miriam Abdul-Richard says the peak of this wave of the virus was noticed around December 23, 2021, with the hospital occupancy rate at 84%. Since then, officials have noticed a gradual decline in the occupancy rates, just having 270 patients on Wednesday morning.
225 across the high acuity or the hospitals treating the severely and critically ill patients, and 45 at the step-down facilities treating recovering patients. And yet again, this is one of the lowest numbers of patients that are being treated since the May 2021 wave that we have seen.
She says similar trends are noticed in the A&E departments, which only had 29 persons awaiting transfer to hospital on Wednesday, none of whom need ICU care. She believes a gradual decrease in occupancy and cases is due to several factors, including vaccination figures, along with the number of people that would have been previously affected.
And we also have a high level of natural immunity from the significant number of persons who have been infected with COVID-19 in our population.
Asked whether the ministry foresees any upsurge in cases due to recent carnival events, Health Minister Terence Dialsing says health officials always have their guard up, but hopes the outcome is similar to what was experienced after Christmas festivities.
There were pictures in the papers about people shopping at a particular place in Princestown and all of these things, that we did expect a spike in January. That did not happen to any large extent.
Dr. Abdul-Richards, though, is urging COVID-19 patients not to delay seeking care in the parallel healthcare system, noting early treatment gives one of the best chance of survival.
And finally, internationally, a week into the Russian invasion of Ukraine, the price of oil has soared. U.S. benchmark crude oil is at a 7-year high of nearly $110 per barrel. This comes despite additional supply being released by the United States and other international energy agency countries.
A week into the invasion of Ukraine, the price of oil has soared, at one point on Wednesday climbing to over $113 a barrel. Analysts now say it could hit $125 soon.
The fear and perception of shortage or extra or excess oil always affects the market, the price immediately.
This week, the U.S. and 30 allies pledged to release 60 million barrels of oil from the strategic reserves. But the world consumes about 100 million barrels a day, so the move has done little to slow prices.
If the United States was to end all Russian oil imports, it would mean the price that consumers pay at the pump would go up a lot. But nevertheless, there's growing calls in Congress for President Joe Biden to do exactly that, end America's reliance on Russian oil.
On Wednesday, Biden was asked about that option.
Nothing is off the table.
Western oil companies such as Exxon, Shell, and BP are pulling out of Russia. Exxon ending operations and a $4 billion investment at a Russian oil and gas facility. Shell canceling a $3 billion joint venture with Russia's gas Gazprom. All this after BP announced it would pull out of a 19% stake in Russian oil company Rosneft, a deal valued at $14 billion. Analysts say the Organization of Oil-Producing Countries, known as OPEC, could have done more to prevent the current crisis. This is a dramatic moment for world oil supply, and likely the market won't stabilize until the uncertainty of war ends.
That's a look at regional and international developments. Blossom is up next with a recap of the headlines.
Looking back at what made news tonight, Tau brings a halt to some operations at the Ports Authority, but management says they are intervening on an FIU investigation. One man detained after altercation leads to an accident and house fire that took the lives of a mother and son in St. Patrick. Family members of man killed in 2011 frustrated over delays in the court proceedings. CARICOM heads of government deliberate on the way forward for the development of the agri-food sector. In regional development, St. Vincent's Prime Minister finally reveals contents of private letter he wrote to Russian President Vladimir Putin. Internationally, sanctions and shortage fears rattle the oil market. In sports, GFA focused on improving coaching in the Premier League. That's the end of the GBN Nightly News for Thursday, March 3rd, 2022. If you missed any part of this newscast, a repeat of it will be broadcast at 10 o'clock tonight. Continue to follow us online at www.gbn.gd or on GBN Television Facebook page and YouTube channel for these and other top stories. I am Blossom Alexis-Welsh on behalf of the entire news team. Enjoy the rest of your thankful Thursday.